Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to video 2 of 3. Told you it'd be 3. Nobody trusted me. Of the college football bowl schedule for 23-24. We're going to finish up 2023 bowl schedule and the college football schedule with the December 27th to December 30th slate of games. We got some good ones. We got 2 meaty must-watches. Let's get into it. We start with December 27th. We start with the Military Bowl, which pins the Virginia Tech Hokies against the Tulane Green Wave. Tulane only lost to Ole Miss and SMU. They finished first in the American Conference. Virginia Tech lost to both Rutgers and Purdue on the other side of things and looked up and down the entire time in a weak ACC. Weather could be a factor in this game as it's in Annapolis, Maryland. Virginia Tech went 6-6 in the ACC. Tulane went 11-2 in the American. As it breaks down, I think Tulane has an edge in pass offense and defense. Tech has the edge in rush offense. Tulane has the edge in rush defense. Special teams goes to Tech. And the winner of this game will be a close one, but I believe that Tulane will knock off Virginia Tech to win the bowl game. This game will take place on Wednesday, December 27th at 2 p.m. Eastern at the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis, Maryland. Takes us to the Duke Mayo Bowl. I think it's ironic that the Duke Mayo Bowl in North Carolina has the North Carolina Tar Heels in the game. They'll take on the West Virginia Mountaineers. North Carolina was middle of a competitive but bad ACC. Common opponent between the two, Pittsburgh. They won 41-24. It's a virtual home game for the Tar Heels as well. West Virginia was middle of the pack in a top-heavy Big 12. Versus Pitt, they squeaked out a win 17-6. North Carolina and West Virginia went 8-4 in their respective conferences. Here's how it breaks down. Pass offense edge goes to North Carolina. West Virginia has the edge in rush offense, number 3 in the entire nation. Pass defense and rush defense go to North Carolina. Special teams also North Carolina. And the winner of this game, I think pretty easily, is the North Carolina Tar Heels. This game takes place, like I said, virtual home game for the Tar Heels, Wednesday, December 27th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern at the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have a ranked team, finally a ranked team. So we have the number 15 Louisville Cardinals against the USC Trojans. Heisman hopeful and first-round pick Caleb Williams has stated he will not play for USC in the bowl game. They had a very disappointing year in the Pac-12 with USC, and I think they just want to get it over with. Louisville looked competitive but played in a weak ACC. They had a close one with Florida State. A couple more close games that they probably should have won. Louisville won 10-3 in the ACC. SC went 8-4 in the Pac-12. This is how it breaks down. I gave the slight edge to SC, but with Caleb Williams not playing, I think that's more of an even. Rush offense easily goes to Louisville. Both defense, pass, and rush go to Louisville. Special teams is a true toss-up. They both have some playmakers, and the winner of this game is Louisville. This game takes place Wednesday, December 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern at Petco Park in San Diego, California. We have another ranked team in the Texas Bowl. This pins the Texas A&M Aggies against the number 20 Oklahoma State Cowboys. Texas A&M made the move to the tough SEC and finished in the middle. All but one loss was to a ranked team. Oklahoma State did not play great competition in Big 12, despite the better record. They got lucky with their draws this year. They didn't have very many matchups that really put them out. Texas A&M went 7-5 in the SEC. Oklahoma State went 9-4 in the Big 12. The offense I give to the Oklahoma State Cowboys. The defense I give to Texas A&M Aggies. Special teams slight edge to Oklahoma State, and the winner of this game, it is an upset. Texas A&M Aggies, I think, wins it in Texas. Wednesday, December 7th, 27th at 9 p.m. Eastern is this game at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. That wraps up December 27th. Now we have the slate of games for December 28th. We start with the Wasabi Fenway Bowl and back-to-back bowl games that I wish didn't exist because they are in the Northeast in the middle of December, end of December actually, and played on baseball fields. The first of these two matchups pins the number 24 SMU Mustangs against the Boston College Eagles. Boston College was bad and a bad ACC. They lost to Florida State by 2, but they also lost to Northern Illinois by 3, 27-24. SMU lost to both Power 5 teams that they played, but beat up on the mid-majors. I think Boston College is more of a mid-major than a Power 5 school this year. Weather will absolutely be a factor in this one. Like I said, Boston College went 6-6 in the ACC. SMU went 11-2 in the American. Pass offense goes to the SMU Mustangs. Boston College takes the only category, which is rush offense. Like I said, both defensive categories, pass and rush, go to SMU. Special teams to SMU. And the winner of this game is the number 24 ranked SMU Mustangs. This game, as I previously alluded to, takes place on Thursday, December 28th at 11 a.m. Terrible time, terrible place, terrible game. Not one I'll be watching. At Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Like I said, the next one of these terrible games, the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl, pits the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, the birthplace of college football, against the Miami Hurricanes. Miami was near the bottom of the ACC, but almost all of its losses came to ranked opponents. They got a bad draw this year. Rutgers started strong, but fell off as soon as they started getting into the Big Ten schedule. Miami finished 7-5 in the ACC. Rutgers came up 6-6 in the Big Ten. As you can see by the chart, both pass and rush offense easily go to Miami. Pass and rush defense easily go to Miami. Special teams goes to Miami. And the winner is the Miami Hurricanes. Again, weather is going to be a factor in this game. This game will take place on Thursday, December 28th at 2:15 Eastern at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. The Pop-Tarts Bowl. This is our first. Both teams are ranked game. The number 18 NC State Wolfpack against the number 25 Kansas State Wildcats. I like something about Kansas State. I like what they're doing there. They seem to be that blue collar, grounded out, gritty football team with a good offense in the Big 12. They can put up points when they need to. NC State finished third and only lost to ranked top 25 teams during the season. This will be a good one. This should be a good one. Almost a meaty must watch, but there were some games that I like better. NC State went 9-3 in the ACC. Kansas State went 8-4 in a tougher Big 12. Kansas State took rush and pass offense. Pass and rush defense went to NC State. Special teams is even. This was a coin flip, but I like what Kansas State's doing, and Kansas State pulls out the win on Thursday, December 28th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida. Next up, we have the Valero Alamo Bowl that pins the number 14 Arizona Wildcats against the number 12 Oklahoma Sooners. I'm going to make an admission. I knew nothing and still know very little about the Arizona Wildcats. They are one of the very few teams that I have not seen play this year. I know little about them other than what I researched. Oklahoma was the only team in the country to beat playoff team Texas. They also dropped some close ones that they probably shouldn't have. They could have made a run for it. Hadn't they dropped those? Arizona finished third in the Pac-12, and based on the numbers, the drop-off after Oregon is pretty evident. Washington and Oregon are the top of the Pac-12, and then it's everybody else. Oklahoma went 10-2 in the Big 12. Arizona went 9-3 in the Pac-12. As you can see from the board, pass and rush offense, pass and rush defense, special teams all went to Oklahoma, and I have Oklahoma winning big in this one, easily by double digits. This game will take place on Thursday, December 28th at 9:15 p.m. Eastern at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. That takes us through December 28th. Now we go to the slate of games on December 29th. And we start off that slate with the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Pins the number 22 Clemson Tigers against the unranked Kentucky Wildcats. Clemson had an off year and a bad ACC, but they want to end with a win. There's nothing more that Clemson wants to do than win the bowl game, move into next year, and hope that it is much, much, much better. Kentucky is a mid-range team in the best conference in football in the SEC. Clemson went 8-4 in their off year in the ACC. Kentucky went 7-5 in the SEC. And as you can see from the board, this one's another one that could get out of hand. Clemson has the best pass and rush offense, best pass and rush defense, and special teams. And again, I think this could be a easy double-digit win for the Clemson Tigers. This game will take place Friday, December 29th at 12 p.m. Eastern at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida. Next, we go to another group of ranked teams for the Tony the Ton Tiger Sun Bowl. The number 19 Oregon State Beavers take on the number 16 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I'm not just being lazy on this one. I really see these teams as the most even in the field, even on pass, rush, offense, and pass and rush defense, and special teams. This one was a coin flip. Plus, I don't like Notre Dame, so give me the Oregon State Beavers in this one. Both teams played multiple ranked teams, and the only losses came against those ranked teams. The Pac-12 versus the Independent. This one will be close, but whoever ends with the ball will win, and I believe that will be the Beaver offense. Oregon State went 8-4 in the Pac-12. Notre Dame went 9-3 as an independent. This game will take place on Friday, December 29th at 2 p.m. Eastern at the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. The AutoZone Liberty Bowl pins the Memphis Tigers against the Iowa State Cyclones. Memphis has a great offense, but played no one and lost a lot in their conference. This is a virtual home game for Memphis, but I don't think it will matter. Iowa State has a good defense in a tough Big 12 and played close against the playoff-bound Texas, losing only 26-16. Memphis went 9-3 in the American. Iowa State went 7-5 in the Big 12. I give both offenses rush and pass to Memphis, both defenses rush and pass to Iowa State. Special teams a slight edge to Memphis. And the winner, because defense wins, the Iowa State Cyclones. This game will take place Friday, December 29th at noon Eastern at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee. My first meaty must-watch of the second slate of games, the Cotton Bowl Classic. That pins the number 9 Missouri Tigers against the number 7 Buckeyes from Ohio State. Ohio State had a down year. Despite only one loss in the Big Ten, they still have the best player in college football. That is the one, the only, Marvin Harrison Jr. Missouri had a surprise year in the SEC, finishing second behind Georgia, with only losses to Georgia and a disappointing loss to LSU. Missouri went 10-2 in the toughest conference in football. Ohio State went 11-1 in the second toughest. We'll see if that win makes a difference. Ohio State has the edge in pass offense because of the aforementioned Marvin Harrison Jr. Missouri can run the football very well. They have the edge there. I think the Ohio State defense, both rush and pass and special teams, give it the edge it needs. And the winner of this game, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, is the Ohio State Buckeyes. Again, this is a meaty must-watch, and it takes place on Friday, December 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern at Jerry World, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And that will be the last game for the December 29th slate. So now we go to the last day in this series, the December 30th games. And we start with the best chicken sandwich on the planet, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. They're not paying me to say that. I really think it is. That pins the Ole Miss Running Rebels, number 11 in the nation, against the number 10 Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State had a good year in the Big Ten, only losing to Michigan and Ohio State. They beat everybody else pretty easily. Ole Miss had a good year in the SEC, only losing to Bama and Georgia. So both teams lost 2 games to the number 1 and number 2 teams in their conference. They're very closely matched. Both of them have a 10-2 record. Penn State 10-2 in the Big Ten. Ole Miss 10-2 in the SEC. And this is how it breaks down. Ole Miss has the edge in pass offense. Penn State has the edge in rush offense. Ole Miss has the edge in pass defense. Penn State has the rush defense edge. Special teams goes to Penn State because they do some crazy stuff. And the winner for one of my viewers is the only reason I picked this, because I don't like Penn State either. Josh Chandler, you should be happy, buddy. Give me the Nittany Lions in a close one. This game will take place on Saturday, December 30th at noon Eastern at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. The next game we have up, the Trans-Perfect, I don't make the names, Music City Bowl, pins the Auburn Tigers against the Maryland Terrapins. War Eagle and Fear the Turtles. Auburn played Alabama tough in the Iron Bowl. The SEC gauntlet was not too good for them, though. Maryland is in for weak non-conference. Their non-conference games, they won pretty easily. The Big Ten slate was much harder. They have Tua's little brother and Talia Tagovailoa. Still not sure they should be in the Big Ten at all. Maryland in the Big Ten was always weird to me, but I get the market thing. Maryland went 7-5 in that Big Ten. Auburn went 6-6 in the SEC. And this one's easy. Pass offense goes to Maryland. Rush offense goes to Auburn. Pass defense goes to Maryland. Rush defense goes to Auburn. Special teams goes to Auburn. And I think the winner in a close one is the Auburn Tigers. This could be a good game to watch as well. This game will take place on Saturday, December 30th at 2 p.m. Eastern, and it will be at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. Again, weather could be a factor, so that could favor the team that can run the football. The next meeting must watch. I think this is one of the best games not on New Year's Day. Probably the best game not on New Year's Day. And this is the Capital One Orange Bowl. This is the number 6 Georgia Bulldogs and the number 5 Florida State We Got Screwed Seminoles. So these are the two that are right outside of the playoff that are trying to prove something. Georgia made the SEC championship and lost to Alabama, and they rolled the whole year. Some of them were close games, but they were never in doubt. Florida State went undefeated in the ACC, conference champions, and still got screwed out of the playoff. Still don't know how that happened. Georgia went 12-1 in the SEC, the best conference of football. Florida State went 13-0 in the ACC, the worst Power 5 conference in football. Georgia has the offense, both rush and pass. Florida State has a great pass defense. Georgia has a better rush defense because of the big guys. Special teams go to Florida State. And the winner, I think the Noles are pissed. Give me the Noles. Florida State wins this one. This one's going to be a fun one to watch. Again, a meeting must watch. This is on Saturday, December 30th at 4 p.m. Eastern from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. And then we gotta come back to earth before we get to the first. And we have this game to finish off the December 30th slate. This is the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl, pitting the Toledo Rockets against the Wyoming Cowboys. Toledo had a great year, losing bookends Illinois by 2 and Miami of Ohio by 9, and they won everything in between. Wyoming lost to Boise State, Air Force, and Texas, and they finished in the middle of the Mountain West. Wyoming went 8-4 in the Mountain West. Toledo went 11-2 in the MAC. As you can see, go Rockets, go. Toledo takes pass and rush offense, pass and rush defense, and special teams. Give me Toledo. I think they win this one, beating Wyoming. That game will take place Saturday, December 30th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern at Arizona Stadium in Tucson, Arizona. We got one more, ladies and gentlemen, and that will just be the slate of games on January 1st, 2024, which will include the college football playoff and some other good games by ranked teams. I'm looking forward to the next one. Hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.